Okay, good afternoon. Let's start the lecture 10. Actually, today we have discussed the 7 lessons of innovation. This is regardless of the IT innovation. We can apply these 7 lessons for the any types of innovation, whether it is IP or product or any other innovations. So, especially you have to understand commercialization of the innovation. This is also one of the main topic we have to discuss. This also not this relates to the any type of innovation, how to commercialize it. You know that the difference between the invention and innovation is the when you talk about the innovation, the invention plus commercializations becomes the innovation. In such case, you have to understand the commercialization component of the those innovation and understand the 7 lessons of the innovation. The commercialization actually is when we get the IT innovations also. This relates to the innovation dimension, which I explain second or third lecture. Innovation dimensions I explain. If you remember those in that lesson, you can understand it. Uh, you know that tech oriented as well as different types of innovation you can find using the existing technology and use the new innovation. And sometimes you can make the innovation with the new technology. If you are not familiar, I will explain later it give me a time. So then if you go to the first few lectures, you can understand it. Is it the second lecture? ICT. Let's see. Not in a second lecture, maybe in the third or let's say the third lecture. Now you can see the innovation dimensions. I think I discussed this one. Dimensions actually modified benefit for the modified user, new benefit for the new user, modified technology and new technology. If the users can get the modified benefit using the modified technology, this is called the incremental innovation. The new technology, using the new technology, if the users can get the modified benefit, that is called the tech oriented. So the modified technology and new benefits give the new application and new technology and new benefit for the user. This is called the radical innovation. You know that this is highly related to the commercialization. The radical innovation, early it will difficult to introduce the idea about the products to the end users. Then after getting the knowledge about this product, the customers will accept the product, and then there is a introductory period, and then you can find the upward trend of the sales. The incremental modified technology and modified benefit for the user. Modified technology, one of the good example is the LED and LCD TVs and LED TVs. The modified technology and modified benefit for the user. So in that case, the user knows about the product. So he want some what we call the modifications, or when you consider LCD and LED, LED television is power consumption is very low. The picture quality is image quality is very high. Likewise, when the
Recording in progress.
likewise when the can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when the users know about the products, they will accept the product. The new technology, modified benefit, also the same. So when we go to the when you go to the commercialization of the IT innovations, market innovation and the business innovation, we have to do that. Market, for if it is a sustained innovation, we can see that the market lead. Sustained innovation, sustained means the product is stable, the customers will accept the product, so that product leads the market and have a high profit. And business, another one is positive innovation. That means business innovation is high and the market innovation has a not so another high, but market gain positive innovation. But the business innovation is low and the market innovation is high, may have a market losses and negative innovations, normally called the negative innovations. And if both are low, called the natural neutral innovations. So we have to understand when we introduce the innovative product to the market. So always we have to try to have to introduce in this red section sustain innovations. And this is one of the actually commercialization. When you want to do the innovation, definitely try to do the sustained innovation. That means that customers will accept it and it will last for a longer time with high demand. So that's why when the technology changes, you will have to use the changes. For an example, in the IT innovation, ICT innovation, also consider that the software solution. When you analyze this software solution, earlier most of the solutions are standalone solution. That means you have to install in the computer and use it. But gradually, when the PHP and MySQL, or also web technology introduced, most of the nowadays the IT solutions are web-based solutions. Web-based solution, that means the large number of users can use that system. For an example, if it is a system for the company, several people can log into the system and use it because of the web-based system. Likewise, when the technology changes and the requirement changes, your product IT solutions also must be changed according to that. Then you can you can get the sustainable innovations and get the market lead for that one. Otherwise, when you use the traditional methods and you are not going to change according to the technology, maybe you may have some problems. when we consider, we have to understand the 7 lessons for the any type of innovation. 7 lessons actually we can explain like: build for the unknown, fail fast, abandon to the success of the past, separate the seed from the weeds. Actually, from the weeds must be there. Focus on process over the product, and create an innovation experience and challenges conventional wisdom. So I will explain this from the different note of these challenges. So we'll consider this one. The 7 lessons actually. One is build for the unknown. For an example, the NASA and the space suit. When you consider the space suits of the NASA needs, and with the piece of price of tag of US dollars 12 million, and weighting it at 280 pounds. So the weight of this one is 280, but the cost is 12 million, and with its own self-constrained pollution systems. Actually, this has a certain system, and also it must maintain the temperature, maintain the actually especially in a vacuum environment, how to survive. Likewise, everything must be considered in this jacket. And the modern space suits used today for execution for the peace shuttle, for all intent, a miniature of the spacecraft. Actually, I got this sample example from some notes. That's why I explained from this. And why any effort to innovate? We embark our journey to the simultaneous learning and changes. So then when we consider not only this one, when we consider build for the unknown, actually when you use the ICT product, ICT innovations, you are going to build from the unknown. Sometimes if you know, you might very easy. So you have to do the R&D, research and development. Here in this also R&D part is there. So I can share the experience when I develop a certain software for a image processing part. So first we had to do a certain R&D part. For an example, we want to get the number plate vehicle numbers from the number plates using the image processing for a certain camera. In such case, with the speed, we have a challenge. When the vehicle fast for a certain speed, how can we get one, and how to remove the noise of that one. Likewise, when you do a sustained ICT innovation, definitely you will have to use the unknowns. So build for the unknowns and do the R&D part. That definitely you have to do this R&D part. Then sometimes not in success for one time, you will have to do several times for this. Second one is fail first. So fail first, actually Sony and the pocket table radio, actually the Morita Akio is the one who introduced the Walkman to the market. Walkman means when he was walking, when he was jogging or walking in the morning, he wanted to listen to music. and he tried to how to listen the music, and he had several ideas, but while he was working he wanted to carry a certain tape recorder, and he designed for that one. Actually, the Morita's first attempt was hardly a pocket radio, not only the not the tape recorder, the pocket radio he introduced first. In the fact that he coined that term pocket table, and had custom shirts for tail with oversized pockets also. When you consider that this pocket radio is little bit larger than the pockets in the shirt, so that it had to fix a separate pocket larger than the standard size for that one. And pocket transistor radio he first developed, and gradually maybe there may have some failures here, the birth of modern electronics. So he could actually first there may have some failures of this one. Later he could succeed. That's why he told that fail first and use the. Actually, failing is the pathway for the success. You have to understand it. When you do some R&D parts, sometimes you will not be able to get the right or the exact result that you want. So in coding also the same, and you will have to try several times, and the only thing, you don't give up while you are innovating something, and fail is the pathway of the success. So yeah, in this case, the birth of the modern customer electronics in 1947, and Sony 57, 24 months, 8 generation, 1 million units, and 6 million units sold since inspection. 1979 Sony does it again, and the Walkman, that is the birth of the Walkman, the first of this one, then the Walkman. Here the Walkman also, the first Walkman is like that. After you know that the Apple company introduced the iPod. iPod is the smaller than the Walkman, and also even in the standard pockets also you can put it in. And also the normally this has a capacity. From this capacity you can save the songs. Normally small, in a tiny iPod you can save more than 25,000 songs, and the music quality is very high comparing this one because of the technology. So the actually idea of the Walkman idea originated by the Akio from the Sony company, but using the different technologies, it was further developed and introduced new idea. Nowadays you can't find these iPods and the Walkman sets. Normally you are using your mobile phone to store the music songs, and whenever you want you can easily do that one. And so we'll go to the third idea. The market don't know how to ask for what they haven't yet experienced. So from the Walkman to the iPod to the mobile phone, when you see this one, when the mobile phone you can get the all-in-one. Even you can use the smartphones as well as you can listen the music also there. And third one is abundant of the success of the past. Abundant means cease or stop. The success of the past. Actually, we can get the knowledge from the past. Abundant the success isn't about just tossing out all previous knowledge. The abundant means not forget or throw it out all the previous knowledge when you get the business idea, the Walkman to the iPod. So there is no any insertion part of the iPod. The Walkman, you have to insert the cassette with the recorded the songs, but that is not. But you can get the basic idea, but you can change the technology for this one. Abundant success isn't about just tossing out all previous knowledge. You can't tossing out all previous knowledge, and you can use the new technology, and you can use the knowledge and the business idea of that one. That's why it's called the seven lesson, and the third lesson is abandon the success of the past. That means not abandon all the things, the business cases, business ideas, also the technology, the previous technology will help you to introduce to do the new innovation. So 1975 Sony introduced the Betamax. Betamax is one of the most famous videotape in the 1970s, 80s, even in early 90s also. Sony got lost the mistake to trying to invent rather than innovate. So then now the Betamax, so the video tape formats, different video tape formats were introduced later, and PAL system and other systems also there. So as a result of that, the chairman Akio had to step down as chairman of Sony in 1979 because of the failure. Because they introduced the Betamax. Betamax is used only for the Japanese. But when there were other videotape formats in the world, in the market, but they couldn't compete with that one. So next we'll see fourth one is separate the seeds from the weeds. So separate the seeds from the weeds. Seed from the weeds. This is one of the good ideas. Seeds from the weed. Our job is as much to keep a careful eye out for new growth as to tend to the seeds we originally planted. So our job is as much to keep a careful eye. This is very, very important. Careful eye. That means where the technology is changing over the time, then the new technology is introduced. And also nowadays, if you if you use the GitHub has the artificial intelligence component, and when you give the guidelines, the potential coding will be given to you. If it is PHP or any other language, the potential codes will be given, and you can just do some changes and use as it is. So that means you have to always understand the new technologies to reduce the development time as well as for the accuracy and other things also. So our job is to much keep a careful eye out of new growth as to tend to the seeds we originally planted. So when we originally planted, get an example, if you develop a certain software solution, actually we normally call solution, using a certain language, but later you want to do a web-based system, and you can use the PHP MySQL or something like that. Later you realize that if you use the frameworks. PHP frameworks are there, Bootstraps, the Laravel frameworks, and you can do this one very easily with a short period of time. So the plant is seeds are there, so you have to understand to get rid of these weeds. So to understand when you want to further develop using the sophisticated technology, and it will get the advantage of uh, developing using that technology. And there are some examples which I don't want to explain more about this. Then if you can understand this thing. Next one is, this is one example on is I will introduce the next lesson is focus on process over the product. Focus on process over the product. This is very, very important. Focus on the process. The final product also very important, but focus on the process. You know that 3M and the post-it notes. You can see the yellow, these post-it notes. Most of the time when you go to the office, so the some managers have these yellow piece of papers, and if you can write the short note and paste it. And this is 3M post-it notes. And brand symbolizes country of bringing ideas to the market. Adversive pharmaceutical, then fabrics, films, and graphics. Actually, this idea is very, very helpful for putting the short notes. Actually, this is not related to the ICT innovation, but any type of innovation. Actually, despite 50,000 products over 100 years, most people today know 3M best for one product, post-it notes. This actually, you can find several sizes and types with different colors also. This is one of the way that they introduce their products to the market. Actually, they analyze the requirement of the people, of the users, and introduce that. That is why when you analyze something, you have to analyze the ICT. When you introduce ICT solution and make some innovations, so better to understand the unmet or unseen need first, and understand what type of product it needs, and then you can decide the process. That's why focus on the process and product. One of the this explain about this 3M and innovation culture is 15% rules, and every technical employees at 3M can spend up to 15% of their time working on independent projects. So that's why how to develop the innovative culture in the company. And here you can find different size of these 3Ms that we'll use for our day-to-day life. And post-its. Next one is create an innovation experiences. From the market's standpoint, innovation can sometimes be seen as change just for the sake of changes. So I will explain this innovation experience. And one of a hand glove manufacturing company, that is world famous company, and they have the more than 30% of the market share in the world, and they want to introduce, that the surgical gloves, normally the surgeons and the doctors use 2 gloves instead of 1. They use 1 gloves, and on top of that, once again they wear another same gloves. So they wanted to uh, have two blouses, and in that time doctors need not to wear two blouses, and with a pair of blouses can be put in their hands at once. So how to wear one gloves on top of that another one? So that is the challenging one, the innovation. So then I will try my best to get the product, what you call, the video clip of that production innovations, actually product innovation. So you then they use one gloves wear a certain hand structure, and on top of that they just wear another one, and remove remove the both gloves at once. So they could, how they develop this one. So that is the innovation actually. Finally, they use the robotic arms as well as new technologies, and also the using actually normally called the mechatronics. Actually, they use the mechatronics, and this is also the highly sophisticated tech oriented innovation, and they use their previous experience and create for the new innovation. So that's why then folding the what we call safety kits, also they use this one. I will explain from I will try to show these image video clips next class. Next one is, the last one is actually challenge conventional wisdom. Challenge the conventional wisdom. Actually, this is the iRobot story. Actually, when you consider the human robot also, their conventional wisdom, and you know that human robots. I will try to show you a certain video clip about this human robots, and you will see this one. I don't know whether you have seen this human robots part earlier.
Growing up, and what inspired me the most about Star Trek was the fact that you would see all these technologies that were totally science fiction, which of course today are reality.
できないと考えられてきたこの先の未来、人間一つの柱、それは表情と動きです。こちらは人工筋肉と呼ばれる装置。人間らしい複雑な動きを再現。アンドロイドはすでに私たちの生活のさまざまな場面で、これまでは人間にしかできないと考えられてきたこの先の未来、人間とロボットの境界線が少しずつ曖昧になっていくでしょう。私たちの生活の中でロボットが当たり前に存在する世界は、すぐそこまで来ているのかもしれません。
These human-like robots imitate the movements of the people they are watching and are currently being placed as observers in hospitals to see how patients feel in their presence.
सौगंध मुझे इस मिट्टी की मैं देख
So these are the actually human robots. That means the here you can see challenge conventional wisdom. Actually, even in the robots also will be given a certain wisdom to react with the situation. So they can answer the questions and they can the human behaviors also can be given from these robots. Actually, challenge and conventional wisdom also. The one of this one is this. Then another one likewise. Then that's all. We have to understand these 7 lessons. Build for the unknown, fail first, abandon for the success of the past, separate for the seeds from the weeds, focus on the process over the product, create innovation experience, and challenges conventional wisdom. Actually,